Hey, Tim here from Advanced Physio. I wanted to get in touch, say hello to everybody. We've been doing our online Pilates classes, and really what I wanted to do was to share some of the movements that we've been doing. So we're going to do a little session. We're going to go start up in standing. We're going to go down onto our hands and knees, and then we're going to go down onto the mat. You'll need a towel just for the back of the head. You will need a little mat as well. If you don't have a mat, you can use a towel and just roll it out. I hope you're doing okay. Join in, get involved. Some of the exercises are a little bit harder than others. Do what you can. If you feel that you're getting any pain, then just pull back. Don't push yourself too much on your first time. But hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you can get involved. So to start off, you're going to start up in standing. You're going to bring your feet together. So feet are going to come together, feet are going to come out into a little V shape. Then you're going to bring your heels out underneath your hips. From there, you're just going to have your hands down beside your hips. You're going to take your chin down to your chest. You're going to hold for a little second. You're going to take your chin up to the ceiling. You're going to hold for a second, and then you're going to bring it back to the center. We're going to look over one shoulder, hold for a second, come back to the center, change sides. We're going to come back to the center. We're going to drop our ear down towards one side. You're going to hold that position, come up, change sides. We're going to hold it, and then we're going to come back to the center. We're going to bring our ear, we're going to take it back down to one side. You're going to bring your hand up and over, and your other hand is going to come in behind the back. You're going to add on about 2 fingers worth of pressure just through the head, just above the ear. You're going to pull down to the side, and we're going to hold that position. After a couple of seconds, you're just going to drop the arms down. You're going to change sides. Take the ear to the other side. Hand is going to come up and over. Other hand goes in behind the back. You're going to hold that position. Add on a little bit of pressure. About 2 fingers worth of pressure generally is about right. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to drop the arms down. We're going to take one hand. We're going to slide it down the outside edge of one leg. You're going to come back up and you're going to change sides. You're going to hold that for a little second, come back up, change side, bring the hands up and over, and then come up, change sides. So as you're doing it as well, what we're not doing is we're not leaning down forwards. You're trying to reach to the side, get that straight line across the body. So we're going to keep on going. We're going to go for 5 more. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then back up into standing. So we're going to keep our feet where they were. We're going to go chin to chest. We're going to slowly unwind them back down towards the ground. You're going to hold that position. We're just going to hang out in that position. So when you're doing it as well, you want your knees locked out. You want your chin tucked under. We're going to hold it. And then we're going to slowly restack the spine, coming all the way back up into standing. Hands are going to go in behind the back. And then you're going to lean back the way. We're going to hold that position. Then we're going to go back down to the ground again. So chin tucked, knees locked out, slowly down to the ground. We're going to hold that position. I like to keep the knees locked out because it just adds a bit more pressure onto the back of the hamstrings. We're going to slowly restack the spine, coming all the way back up into standing, hands in the back, and then leaning back the way. So what we're doing is every time we lean forwards, we always do it with the opposite. So we're counteracting all that forwards movement. We're going to come back down, we're going to go chin to chest. And then this time what you're going to do is you're going to take both hands to the outside edge of one leg. Keep the chin tucked under. So what's happening is we're going down. Hands are going to come to the outside edge of one leg. Keep your chin tucked under. And what that does is that increases that stretch on the opposite side of the back. We're going to hold that position. And then we're going to change sides. So come back to the center, change sides. Keep the chin tucked under, keep your knees locked out. Hold that position. And then we're going to come back to the center. When you're back to the center, you're going to slowly restack the spine all the way up into standing. Hands are going to come in the back. You're going to lean back the way. We're going to hold that position. And then you're going to keep your hands there. You're going to come forward. So you're going to do a little bow. Come up, lean back. Come down, lean forwards, little bow, come up, lean back. And what we're doing is we're adding on just a little bit of a hinge. It's almost like self-mobilizing your low back. It's a really nice way of just getting the back loosened off. We're going to do 2 more, so you're going to come up, lean back, 1 more, come up, and then lean back. Drop the hands down. We're going to bring the hands up to shoulder height. You're going to interlock the fingers, bring your thumbs together, bring the thumbs just onto the chest, and then you're going to spin round for a count of 2. So it's 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So effectively what we're doing with these stretches is we're stretching the back off in all directions. So we've done forwards, backwards, we've done rotation, and we've done sideways as well. It's a really nice way of just getting the back and the hips loosened up, ready for a little class. So we're going to do 2 more, 1 more, and then back to the center. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our feet a little bit wider than the hips. We're going to take our hands, you're going to slide the hands down towards the knees. You're going to keep your chest up and your head up. What I don't want to see is this sort of curling in forwards with down to the hands down to the knees. We're going to come down, stick your bum up, keep your head up, chest up, and then we're going to come back up into standing. So we're going to go down. We're going to go for 20 reps. We're going to go 20, 19, 18, 17. Pulling the trousers up is absolutely optional. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. When we get to 10, you're going to bring hands out forwards, drop the bum a little bit lower. So you're going to bring hands out forwards, drop your bum a little bit lower. Just make sure you're not curling in forwards. You want to keep your head up and your chest up, dropping the bum to the ground. We're going to go for 3 more. 3, 2, I can't count as well, so don't worry too much. 1, and then back up to the center. So that's our warm-up done. Now we are going to go down into kneeling. So when you get down onto the floor, you're going to put your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. With this position, you've got a couple of things that you just need to be aware of. You can change your hand position, so you can have your hands up onto your knuckles, you can have your hands face down, face forwards, or you can have your hands face down, face out to the side. You can choose which position you go into, and it depends on what your wrists are doing. It's really important to get weight down through the wrists, especially for ladies. So it's really important just for bone density. So it is something that we need to do. So from that position, what you're going to do is you're going to tuck your chin, and you're going to arch your back up towards the ceiling. Then you're going to sag your back down to the ground, lift your head up, looking away from you, and then you're going to tuck the chin, arch the back up to the ceiling, and then you're going to lift and sag. We're going to keep on going. We're going to go for 3 more movements. 3, and then down, 2, and then down, and then 1 more, sag the back down to the ground, and then come back to the center. What I want you to do is to find the in-between position. So we're going to go arch the back, sag it down, and then find that sort of halfway position so that if you were to look at your camera, your back would be straight from your bum all the way to the shoulders. In terms of your chest, what I don't want to see is this sagging down. We want to lift through the chest and be pushing away from the hands. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 hand forwards and 1 hand is going to come in behind. From there, you're going to lift, and it's going to be working on opposites, and then back down, light touch, and then back up again. So what you end up doing is you get this nice posterior chain exercise, really good for getting your bum and that sort of shoulder area working. So we're going to go for 10. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to come under and we're going to repeat the process on the other side. So your other leg is going to go out behind. Work on opposites, so opposite hand. Make sure that you're not sagging down through the stomach. So we want to keep that stomach engaged so that we're not just dropping the belly button down to the ground. So we're going to tuck, engage that stomach, then lift. What you should find is by engaging the stomach, your bum muscle actually wants to engage a little bit more as well. With the hip, you want to be driving through the bum muscle. So as you come up, think about squeezing and clenching your bum cheek and make sure that you're not arching down. So keep it tight. We're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands under, and then we're going to change sides. So we're going to go back out, hand forwards, come up. Keep working on keeping the stomach tight while driving through the bum to lift the back leg. Try and keep the back leg straight as well, so the knee is locked out. So we're going to keep on going. We're going to go for 5, 4. We're doing 3 sets of this all together. 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes under, change sides. So we're going to come up again. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands under. Just drop your bum back. We're going to go for one more set of these in a little second. We're just going to pause and just get a little bit of a stretch onto the low back and into the bum. Then we're going to come forwards again. So we're going to go for that same movement again. Just make sure that you're not arching too much. Make sure you're not sagging. You want to find that halfway point. You're going to take one leg back, work on the opposite hand, lift. So we're going to go for 10. Drive through the bum, keep the stomach nicely engaged. Don't let the stomach sag. And we're going to keep on going. So we're going to go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hand and knee under, change sides, come back up again. I tend to keep the back knee locked out as well, pointing through the toes. So we're going to go 6, down, 5, down, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands back under, drop the hips back towards the ankles. We're going to hold that position. So the next exercise we're going to go into is called thread the needle. Thread the needle, we're going to bring hands under shoulders. Again, if you do find that your wrists are a little bit sore, just give them a good shake around. Almost, play the piano, conduct the orchestra. So we're going to come in, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath hips. This time we're going to take one hand, we're going to place it between this gap. You're going to slide the hand through the gap, and you're going to take your shoulder down towards the ground, and you're sliding that arm all the way through. We're going to hold for about a second, and then we're going to come up. You're going to take that same hand, you're going to take it up towards the ceiling. You're going to try and get this really wide shoulder, hand up to the ceiling. You're going to come back down. We're going to do that same movement again. We're doing it 5 times. So hand comes up to the ceiling, big stretch from the hand, all the way down again, and then back up. We're going to go 3 more. And then we're going to come down, and then back up. And then 1 more, all the way down, back up to the ceiling, and then hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. We're going to change straight away onto that other side. So you're going to take your hand, you're going to place it through the gap, drop the shoulder, reach away from the body, bring the hand up, hand comes up to the ceiling, and then drop it down. As you're coming up, you're looking up at your hand as well. Hand goes to the ceiling, dropping it down, and then back up. So we're going to go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands are going to come underneath the shoulders. Drop your bum back. Pause for a second. So I would call this wee one a half prayer position. We don't need to go all the way down to the ground. We're just dropping your bum back, just opening the joints in the low back really simply. We're going to hold that position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down onto your back. So we're going to take the pillow, place it down, I tend to go just with a towel or a pillow, just one of them, you don't need both of them. And then from that position, you're just going to bring hands down beside the hips. You're going to bring one knee in, bring the other knee in. We're going to hold that position. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put soles of the feet on the ground, arms out wide, drop the knees down to one side. You're going to hold that position again. And then you're going to bring the knees up and you're going to change sides. You're going to hold it, 3, 2, and 1, and then bring the knees back to the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk the heels right up towards your bum. You're going to have about 6 inches between the feet, so that's generally sort of about the width between your thumb and your finger. You're going to have a fist width between your knees, and then from that position, hands are going to come down beside the hips. You're going to think about tucking your bum, so you're going to think about flattening your low back down against the ground. From that position, you're going to come up and then you're going to squeeze through the hips, take the hips up towards the ceiling. From that position, you're just going to hold it. You're just going to hold that position. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds, 2 and 1. As you come down, let every bit of the spine come down and then touch the ground and then just relax. We're going to do that movement again, so we're going to tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips, hold for 3 seconds, 2 and 1. Let the whole spine go back down to the ground. Make sure the low back goes down and then pause for a little second. We're going to do that same movement again. So we're going to tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips. As you're lifting the hips, drive through your bum muscles. Okay, we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Let every bit of the spine come down, lightly touch, and then back up again. So you're going to tuck your bum, flatten the back, lift up. We're going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Let every bit of the spine go down, lightly touch, and then back up again. We're going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Let every bit of the spine go down, and then back up again. So for the next 10, what we're going to do is we're not going to worry about getting every bit of the spine touching the ground, but what we're going to do is just go down, lightly touch, and then back up. Down, lightly touch, back up. Drive through your bum muscles, so it's really important that that bum muscle feels like it's contracting. So we're going to go for 6 more. 6, down, 5, down, 4, down, 3, down, 2, down, 1 more, and then back down again. Just bring the knees in, hug the knees in. Again, we're just going to hold this position. So we're going to go for 3 sets of that. So we're going to go soles of the feet back down on the ground, 6 inches between the feet, fist between the knees. From there, tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, clench the bum cheeks, and then we're going to go down, lightly touch, back up. So 10, down, 9, down, 8, down, 7, and down, 6, and down, 5, and down, 4, and down, 3, and down, 2, and down, 1, all the way back down. Bring the knees in, hug the knees in again, and then we're just going to rest and pause in that position for a second. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take our feet back down to the ground, heels are going to walk up towards the bum, 6 inches between the feet, a fist between the knees, hands down beside the hips. We're going to tuck the bum, flatten the back, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, squeezing through the hips, holding that position. Then we're going to come down, we're going to drop down, back up. So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, keep on trying to get those hips high as well, 4, 3, and then 2, we're going to do 1 more, and then down. Place the feet together, knees together, arms going to go out wide, drop the knees down to the side. I do this stretch a lot, I really like it, I think it's a great stretch for the low back. It's one of the movements that I do for myself, but it's also one that I think just keeps the back healthy. It's a nice way of just opening up the joints in the low back. We're going to change sides. We're going to hold that position, Again, we're just going to keep on holding for 3 more seconds. 2 and 1, and then come back to the center. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll onto your side. You're going to have your knees together. You're going to walk your heels up towards your bum. Your heels should be directly underneath your bum. So if you were to lift your heels up, you should see them underneath your bum. In terms of your head, you've got a couple of different positions. You can have hand just supporting the head. If you find that sort of awkward on the neck, you can place a pillow just between the shoulder and the ear. We're going to go into the baby clam position. So we're going to bring top knee up towards the ceiling. We're going to drop the knee down and then bring it back up. We're going to go for 10 reps. In terms of what you should be looking out for, most people tend to drop the hip down back the way. So what I want you to do is to keep the hip nicely stacked on the other side. We're going to go 3 more reps. 2 and 1, and then just drop the knees back down together. We're just going to get a 10-second rest. Now in terms of when you're doing that exercise, one of the things you can do is just bring your hand just onto the outside edge of the hip. That just lets you feel what's happening with the hip, whether it's dropping forwards or backwards. So again, what we're going to do, we're going to bring knee up towards the ceiling and then back down. As you do that, we're going to do 10 reps. As you do that, that last little where the knee goes up to the ceiling, that bit is the most important. So the last few degrees are the most important, and that's where you should be trying to squeeze out the way to get that full movement, but without dropping the hips back. We're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Knees come back down. Again, we're not stretching between the movements, we're just going to hold that position. So we're going to go same movement again. We're going to bring knee up to the ceiling, working in that outside range. So don't just go halfway up. Try and really squeeze the knees up and then back down. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Think about squeezing your bum cheek as well. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down. Again, we're not stretching. We're going to go straight into the next exercise. So both legs are going to go straight out. You're going to bring your top foot in behind your bottom knee. We're going to bring the knee down towards the ground. And then we're going to bring the knee back up to the ceiling. Again, with this movement, don't let the hips just drop back the way too much. We want the hips nicely stacked on the other, on top of the other one. And we're going to go for 10 reps. If you find that this is just too much for your hips, too much for the bum, then just drop back and do that same baby clam. So we're going to go through it again. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then drop down. We're going to take the leg, we're going to straighten the leg out. We're going to go one more exercise. So this time what you're going to do, you're going to lock your top knee out. You're going to bring your toes up towards you. You're going to take your leg behind your body. Okay, so the behind the body is actually really important for this one. Gets that bum muscle pre-working. From there, you're going to take your foot up towards the ceiling and then back down. What I don't want to see is the foot coming forwards and then coming out forwards. It needs to be behind the body and then back down. So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I like the toes up towards me with the knee locked out. Make sure it's behind the body. 3, 2, and 1, and then rest up. You're going to roll onto your back. We're going to pull the knees in and then hug the knees in. From that position, you're going to straighten your knee, your leg that you weren't working, and bring the knee that you were working up towards you. From there, you're going to bring that knee towards the opposite shoulder, and you're going to hold that position. So you're going to pull it in, pull it towards the opposite shoulder, hold that position, and then we're going to straighten it out. From there, we're going to roll onto your other side. From there, you can bring your hand up just onto the head if you want to, or you can have a towel just between your ear and the shoulder. You're going to have your hand down forwards, you're going to have your knees stacked, your hips stacked. Again, I don't want to see the hips stacked back the way. It's got to be straight on top of the other one. You can lift your heels up. If you look down, you should see the heels underneath your bum. From there, you're going to bring your top knee up towards the ceiling and then down, up towards the ceiling and down. What you should be doing is that last couple of degrees, you should be exaggerating the movement. So you come up, you squeeze up the way, you go down. You come up, you squeeze up the way, you go down. And you're squeezing up, you're working in that outside range. Don't just sort of work halfway. We want that full movement. We're doing 10 reps maximum. So we're going to go 3 more, down, 2 more, down, 1 more, and then down. We're not stretching, so we're going to take a 10-second break. We're going to hold that position, just rest for a little second. Then we're going to do that same movement again. You can bring your hand onto your hip if you want to, and we're going to go for 10 reps. We're going to go 10, down, 9, down, 8, 7, 6. Remember, working that outside range. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the knees come down. We're going to pause. We're going to straighten both legs out. You're going to take your top foot in behind your bottom knee. You're going to take your knee to the ground, and then you're going to take it up to the ceiling. We're going to go for 10 reps. 10, down, 9, down, 8, down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the leg out. So for this next one, you're going to lock your top knee out, bring your toes up towards you. You're going to take your leg behind the body and then up to the ceiling. And what you should feel is that it should feel into your bum muscle rather than into the front of the hip. If you're doing it in your bum muscle, you're going to be working the right muscle. If you feel it at the front of the hip, what you can do is you can just roll your hips slightly forwards and then take your leg up to the ceiling. It's a really nice, easy trick just for getting that bum muscle worked a little bit more. We're going to go for 5 reps. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then pause. We're going to go down. We're going to roll onto your back. Knees are going to come up. Hug the knees in. We were working our right side there, so we're going to take the left side, just straighten it out, bring the knee in towards you, and then pull it, so you're pulling it towards your opposite shoulder. We're going to hold that position. And then you're going to straighten the legs out. From there, we're going to widen the arms. We're going to bring one knee up over the hip, bring it up and across the other side. So if you're using your right knee, so the right knee comes up, right knee comes towards left side, left hand comes onto the outside edge of your right knee, head looks in the opposite direction. And what you're going to do is you're going to add on pressure through the knee, keeping your shoulders on the ground. So you don't want to see this shoulder coming up, you want that shoulder on the ground. We're going to add on for 5 seconds, 3, 2, and 1, and then relax off, and then add on another 5 seconds of pressure. So it's a really nice way of sort of mobilizing, again, the low back into the hip joint. Great way of increasing rotation. Good stretch into the bum. So we're going to hold, we're going to do that one more. So we're going to pause, take the weight pressure through the hand off, and then drop it down again. We're going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg back to the center, and we're going to change sides. So we're going to bring the knee up, bring it up and over to the other side. Hand is going to come onto the outside edge of the knee. Your head is going to look in the opposite direction. We're going to hold that position. Again, you want your shoulder onto the ground. The aim of the game is to get the knee and the shoulder onto the ground, but it's more important to keep the shoulder on the ground rather than just letting the knee go to the ground, because if the shoulder comes up, pressure off the knee, off the bum. So we're going to hold that position. We're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, let the pressure come off, and then go back down again. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take the pressure off, and then back down. Last time, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take the pressure off, bring the hands back in. We're going to roll onto your stomach. We've got 2 little stretches to do, and then that is us finished. So we're going to roll on all the way onto your stomach. You're going to have the towel just underneath your forehead. Elbows are going to come, they're not elbows, these are hands. So hands are going to come underneath shoulders. From there, you can push up into a Cobra position. We're going to hold just for a second, and then we're going to go back down. So if you find that's really sort of catchy in the back, you can just bring your elbows under the shoulders as well, and just hold out into that position. From there, so you've got a choice. You can either go up into that full extension, or go up, elbows just underneath the shoulders, and prop yourself up in there. We're going to hold, so whichever position you go into, we're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1, and then down. Same movement again. We're going to come up, we're going to go 3, 2, and 1, and then down. We're going to do one more stretch. So we're going to come up, 3, 2, and then 1, and then back down. So from here, bring the hands under the shoulders. We're going to go up onto your hands and knees. You're going to bring your bum back to your ankles. You can bring the towel down with you as well. We're going to rest. We're going to go into that prayer position. So elbows are going to come down to the ground. Forehead is going to come down to the ground. For this one, I tend to keep the elbows on the ground. I think it's a low back stretch. So for me, what I'm looking for is that low back. I want the bum to the ankles. Some people would put the arms out wide just to get a bit more of a stretch underneath the armpits. For me, it's a low back stretch. Let's keep it at that. We'll hold that position. So last little stretch, and then we're going to walk the hands in, and then that is us finished. So if you do have any pain with those movements, then obviously just pull back. There's a load of different variations. I'm going to do a couple more stretches and exercise videos as well, so hopefully you'll see a few more out in the future. Hopefully that was useful. I certainly enjoy doing the exercise and enjoy taking the classes. If you want to join in with our online stuff, give us a shout as well. You can ring us, you can check us out on our website, you can even like us on Facebook. Hopefully that has been helpful. Until next time, see you later.